time it is. It's that official time where we take this worldwide. Let's go. Listen. So now it's time to turn it up. Surf the radio waves as we begin to burn it up. We all up in your area like landscape, definitely bringing you the pancakes. It's a mandate that you tune in. It's time to move out so we can move in and recognize that this is no illusion. I'm here to clear the air so that there is no confusion. It all started off in the book of Genesis when Jacob was wrestling with who he thought was his nemesis. And when the man saw he couldn't overpower him, he touched his hip but he really couldn't devour him. And from that point, then we hear a name change, rearrange the game, so now we gotta change lanes. So I'm here to let you know it's time to listen to the Pancake and Powerslam Show. Let's go! Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam Show. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam Show. Turn it up.
Yo, I'm tired, super tired. 5:35, we wired. Me, I'm tired, but I got Pete and P. There are my virtual coffee. 5:33 plus 2. Hootie hoo. You know who is Dr. Chris with the P crew. Freestyling from the top of the dome. Dr. Chris Featherstone talking about AEW. Tony Khan and his hugs. Ooh, hootie hoo with Cesaro, Claudio Castagnoli, and Kazuchika Okada. See, hugging them like Disney character. Super weird, creepier. But that's TK for you. Yo, that's TK for you. With the creepy hugs. Showing all the love. Yo, TK with the creepy hugs. 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 Let's go. Hey. TK with the creepy hugs. Yo, TK with the creepy hugs. Hey, TK with the creepy hugs. Yo, TK with the creepy hugs. You can't get that off your mind now. It's became a jingle, ladies and gentlemen, and you're going to sleep thinking about the jingle. TK with the creepy hugs. Yo, TK with the creepy hugs. TK with the creepy hugs. Yo, TK with the creepy hugs. Let's go. TK with the creepy hugs. TK with the creepy hugs. Yo, TK with the creepy hugs. Sorry, yo. Sorry, Claudio. Sorry, Kazuchika. TK with the creepy hugs. Yeah. What's going on, PNP Nation? What's going on, PNP Nation? I was like, I'm tired, Joe. I ain't gonna freestyle, but I'm gonna freestyle for y'all as much as I can every week, as much as I feel it. I'm gonna make it a thing. I've been making it a thing. It's been like a month now, maybe even longer than that, since I've been freestyling for y'all at the top of the show. But now I've got a jingle for y'all. TK with the creepy hugs. Yo, TK with the creepy hugs. Let's go. What's up, PNP Nation? All right. Chris, it's good for the most part, except with all of the brawling in so many segments. Yeah, lots of brawling for sure. C Ride with the update. Good to have you back, my man. We had my grandma's funeral yesterday. I'm back with my PNP Nation, so maybe I can lose myself in some good old wrestling cheddar. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Let's have a great show and always enjoy wrestling. My man. My man. Money in the Bank predictions. Ricky told me to tell you hi. He won't be tuning in tonight. What's up, Ricky? Man, what are the Money in the Bank? What's on the card, man? What's on the card? Let's see. What's on the card? Let's find out what's on this card here. Let's go. Oh man, there's 6 matches. 3-hour event, 6 matches. That means these matches are going to go long. Man, I got a feeling that Theory is going to beat Lashley, which is just absolutely horrible, man. There's no way Lashley should be losing like this. He should be like the number 1 babyface on Raw, especially since Cody's gone. Usos and Street Profits. I think the Usos are going to win that one. Rousey's going to beat Natalya. Bella's going to beat Carmella. Very predictable matches. Women's Money in the Bank. Ooh. Who do I think should win? I'm going to say who do I think should win. Who do I think should win is give it to Liv. Give it to Liv, man. You know, she's a small character who to me isn't really there as far as the champion's concerned. And I don't know when she'd ever get there as far as like her character and intimidating enough and just charismatic and, you know, have a strong enough presence. In-ring work is solid. But compared to a lot of the other women and just presence wise, I mean, Alexa Bliss is super small, but she had a bigger presence. I just don't see Liv getting there. But if she won the contract, if she won the Money in the Bank contract, it would make sense because I think Liv has put a lot in. I mean, she's put a lot of work in, and so giving her a title run like this, I'm cool with it. I mean, if you gave it to Nikki ASH last year and her gimmick was just not good, I definitely prefer Nikki Cross. But Nikki ASH was just the DOA gimmick. I've said that before, and it is now. It is. But I think Liv capitalizing on someone, being down and winning it that way, I'm open to that. I would do a like Royal Rumble type of deal. As far as I know, there hasn't been a Royal Rumble cash-in. As far as the title's concerned, that would be a first. That would be unprecedented, if I'm not mistaken. So go for it. I would do Bianca beating Becky, and then I would have Becky win it back in a multi-person match at Royal Rumble. Do a 4-man. So if you do multi-person matches that don't have Bianca lose, it's easy. I mean, the booking's easy. If you had someone like a Rhea Ripley, for instance, being a 4-way with Bianca Belair and then Becky Lynch and Asuka, for instance, those 4. do it. Go for it. I'm a big fan of that, and I would have Becky win it because she had to go through three other people. Rhea Ripley basically causes, distracts Bianca, beats her up outside or something like that. That can transform to a Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley, the whole Judgment Day angle going on, and that would help Bianca Belair as a babyface and still have her have a prominent spot on WrestleMania. And then you have Becky win the match, and then at the Royal Rumble, um, have Liv cash it in, and there you go. I mean, and then you can do Liv versus Becky at a rematch at WrestleMania, and I would have Liv win that one too. So there you go. As far as the men's, I've got a feeling that Riddle's going to win. I'm not quite sold on that though. I'm not quite sold on that happening. I won't be a big fan of that actually, but I think he's going to win. Lexi is in the building. It seems that the locker room politics are negatively influencing both AEW and WWE. What do you think would be a good resolution to get back to strictly kayfabe rumors? That would be a long road, ladies and gentlemen. That would be a long road, Lexi. I would say one of the things to start it off would be wrestlers spending time and honing their characters better, even on social media. That would help. Um, that would also, like wrestlers understanding that this is a business and understanding that there's journalists out there and part of the it's interesting because the news media outlets is what really drives a lot anytime when you're dealing with sports. Media outlets are really the lifeblood of all types of sports, highlighting people, highlighting recruits, giving commentary on things, causing people to be excited about an upcoming game like college game day. I love college game day, stuff like that's the type of stuff. And then, review shows. If a team won, if a team lost, the news is such a lifeblood in all sports, in all types of sports. And the same thing goes with wrestling, but from more of a, you know, website or site journalist, people would even call it dirt sheet type of, angle. Now, when it comes to the rumors, I mean, a lot of times the rumors are just speculation, but at the same time, that's the type of material that still can be used to draw a buzz around a particular thing. Like, for instance, kayfabe rumors or dirt sheet speculation was Cesaro was going to be the person who was going to be a part of the Blackpool Combat Club and be the Daniel Bryan's replacement. But it was like, is it Wyatt? Is it Gargano? Is it, like those type of things, some of the speculation can be far off, but at the same time, people are looking at Wyatt's account more. People are looking at Gargano's account more. Like, that's causing people to see if they can put the puzzles together, and that gives that person a spike in engagement on their social media. It also gives that person an opportunity to perhaps even get more followers. So it's a win-win. I think dark sheets get they go awry when the speculations are just ridiculous, and then sheets lose reputation when they are pretty solid or locked in on a rumor or reporting something that just is incredible. I mean, it's just it has no credibility to it. That's where the sheets go awry. Let's see. Dion is in the building. Do you think they should do away with Survivor Series, not like the old Survivor Series? Fantastic question. Fantastic question, Dion. See, here's my thing. I'm a traditionalist in many ways, particularly when it comes to pro wrestling. Okay, I don't think that they should do away with Survivor Series. With Survivor Series, I think that they should revamp it to be what it was. I mean, it's really easy to revamp Survivor Series. This brand against brand stuff is trash. It's absolute trash. It's meaningless. It's an absolute meaningless pay-per-view. I said this before and I say it again. I think Survivor Series is what caused the downfall of the popularity of Drew McIntyre because he lost cleanly to Roman Reigns. He got choked out. It was a meaningless match. They didn't even revisit it at all. They didn't revisit it at all. And this was 2020 when he lost to Roman Reigns. They didn't revisit it whatsoever. Why in the world? And at that time, Drew was plowing through. He had one of the biggest Royal Rumble win ovations, in the history. That was right before the pandemic in 2020, January 2020. 2 months later, the whole world shut down. It's like you had that feeling, you had the momentum. I'd say COVID hurt Drew too, actually, because he had so much momentum going, behind him, especially from his Royal Rumble win. Brock Lesnar eliminating half of the, Royal Rumble participants until, you know, uh, you have him come out, Drew come out. I think he got help from Ricochet. I think it was. He got distracted, and then boom, Claymored him out. Fans went bananas. Fans went bananas when he won. So he had so much momentum, and he was a heel. He was like 19. He was a heel, and he was starting to get so organically over that he just became a babyface, and it worked. He was super organically over. The fans end up loving him. And then it just, man, he was feuding with Orton, Lashley, Seth. He has some solid matches. He beat um, uh, Goldberg. No, he beat Braun beat Goldberg. He beat Brock. He beat Brock at WrestleMania. And so, yeah, I mean, he had a lot of momentum behind him. But I think with all that momentum he was going through, beating Orton, beating Seth, beating Lashley, and then all of a sudden he meets Reigns at Survivor Series. Really, really odd build, really weak build, nothing going for it. It meant nothing. And then he lost to Roman cleanly. Well, it was some underhanded stuff to it, but at the end of the day, he choked out to Roman Reigns. Didn't get any babyface come up as at all, and that made him look vulnerable. And I think that was really the beginning of uh, the end of Drew looking like a larger than lifestyle character, which he was kind of getting the momentum in. Having Drew lose at the expense of Roman to me was just utterly trash. A horrible, horrible idea. And I think Survivor Series with this brand stuff, they only did bragging rights for what, a few years, a cup of coffee. Yeah, they did bragging rights for a cup of coffee, and they realized it was a horrible concept. But then they just put it on Survivor Series. It's terrible. I think there should be actual storylines, which WWE failed to do. There should be storylines of two teams. Like if Cody was still around, for instance, it would be a Team Cody versus Team Seth. And then just like old school Survivor Series, you had two, main event style names. And then they had mid carders, or, sometimes fellow main eventers. They usually had a prominent tag team. And they had fellow mid carders on their respective teams, which were usually engaging in a feud with each other. They were opposite someone who was engaging in it. They were engaging in a feud with. That's SummerSlam. I mean that's Survivor Series, and that's how it should be. Just it just doesn't make sense to me at all. Even if they did the old 1990 feel with the stipulation with all the winners meeting at the end, with the baby faces meeting on one side, the heels meeting on the other side, and the winner becomes a number one contender, for the world title. If there's four heels, on one side, um, you know, those heels go against, the champ. If there's three baby faces that are the sole survivors, they go against the champ. If there's one sole survivor at the end, that one person goes against the champ. There should be some type of stipulation that comes with Survivor Series. I think they could do it, but what we see now is just trash. Appreciate it, Chris. Yeah, man, I'm a tired dude, man. As many of you all know, I'm a therapist. I'm a psychology doctor by day, and being a therapist is a very exhausting job. I legit have to really go through and navigate through people's very intense, concerning issues, concerning problems, and just really use my professional and personal expertise to really help them navigate out of it. And then, I deal with some intense stuff, addictions, domestic problems, PTSD, anxiety, depression, suicidal ideation, homicidal ideation. I've dealt with it all. And yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm blessed to be in that space, to be used by God. And so, yeah, it's great, but it's exhausting. So I usually dump it all at the gym, which I do 5 days a week. Then I come home and spend time with my family, and I hop on a podcast, 3 days a week, 3 nights a week, and 2 of those nights I'm doing 2 podcasts a night. So I do 5 shows a week, basically 1 a day, but on 2 of those days I do 2 shows. So yeah, it's and plus, I'm doing some study, work. I went to go get a 3rd master's on top of a PhD, and so I have a couple months left in that, actually about 6 weeks left or so. And my goal was to get another degree with a 4.0. I got my PhD with a 3.8, and I'm accomplishing that goal. So still in school, done with school after this. Wanted to just beef up my resume, and had some ideas as far as what I want to do. Still want to be a therapist, but I still want to I want to engage in a couple other endeavors too. So yeah, so that's pretty much my day, and it's super duper busy. But guess what, y'all? My birthday's on Saturday, so do me a favor, PNP Nation, and tell me, still doing Axe Doc, hashtag Axe Doc. So tell me what you like, what you enjoy about coming on PNP. We got some faithfuls. We got some absolute faithfuls, which I'm super. I mean, I'm so thankful of. I love it. It's fun. This, like, PNP is, to me, I come. I'm on a Tuesday. I do unscripted. It's a bit more formal, although I make it fun and exciting. But when PNP is just, I'm chilling with fam. It's just people who just love wrestling. Love talking about wrestling, and I love PNP. This is my show. This is my baby, and this is over 10 years old now. So it's great. I love it. I'm super appreciative of it. But yeah, PNP Nation, Axe Doc. What do you enjoy about PNP? When did you start watching PNP? And what makes PNP stand out to you? That's the question on deck. That's the question on deck as far as that would be an awesome birthday gift to let me know that. Let's see. You think they should bring back Great American Bash for Armageddon? They bring back the badge for NXT. Armageddon, yeah. The end is here. That's the December pay-per-view they used to do. Moxley alluded to possibly having a concussion as media scrum after AEW, although it was quickly hushed up. Do you think it's one is true? Two is AEW proven WWE right for being strict? I think it definitely could be true. He had a huge wound. It was a bloody mess when he was going against Tanahashi at for Forbidden Door. Yeah, I mean, with the reckless style of wrestling that we see on a weekly basis in AEW, I mean, as a psychology doctor, it doesn't surprise me at all if anybody gets reported for a concussion. I mean, I look at someone like a Ray Phoenix or Darby Allin or Sammy Guevara, right? And I'm thinking like, man, y'all are young. y'all can't be doing this stuff, man. Like you are just wrecking your brain. You're wrecking it. And only thing a concussion is that you have membrane and you have a skull, right? And you have your brain. And when it's impact, your brain hits your skull. And depending on the severity of it, you can have a mild concussion and cause some imbalance and you know, some minor, headaches and stuff like that. But when it gets bad, it gets bad. I mean, you have memory loss, you have hallucinations, you have heightened aggression when it comes to concussions and CTE. A lot of times people become suicidal, even aggression to homicidal thoughts. But a lot of times it is suicidal thoughts because you get in such a slump and instead of depression. CTE is real, y'all. It's a real thing. And for someone to continue to put all of that pressure on their brain by that high impact, um, CTE is usually prevalent in football players. I mean, that's usually a lot of times where they do the studies and stuff at. Um, but pro wrestlers too. I mean, pro wrestlers, especially when chair shots were a thing. I mean, that was just in hindsight they didn't know, but man, I mean, it was horrible. So yeah, I mean, doesn't surprise me that anybody has a concussion. Do also think that the Battle Royal Elvis last night lasted about 15 minutes too long. It felt like 24/7 championship qualifier. Yeah, I think it was too long. I agree. I like Battle Royals, but when the names aren't prevalent and when they don't have a countdown, like the thing is about the Royal Rumble, if they just packed in everybody at once, like a battle royal format, it wouldn't be the Royal Rumble. It wouldn't be really exciting. People get excited about the Royal Rumble because one, they're counting down. It's the anticipation effect. It's the anticipation a reward system. So basically, that shoots up dopamine that causes motivation and excitement and joy. So when you're anticipating for something positive, it actually increases your dopamine levels. So when it comes to the Royal Rumble, people's dopamine levels are increased because they're counting down, they're anticipating somebody who could be their favorite wrestler, who can be a favorite to win, and especially number two, a potential mystery wrestler, right? A mystery entrant. So that's what they get excited about from a psychological standpoint. But a straight up battle royal where everybody's in, you know who they are, and the names who are in there aren't major names that stick out or legends or mystery, nothing. It's just it feels bland. The perception of a battle royal is bland compared to a Royal Rumble, especially if the people involved aren't very strongly booked. A friend of mine that is a girl was found dead in a county jail on Thursday. She battled demons and they may have won. Looks like they did. She was 30. R.I.P. Marissa. Yeah, sad to hear that. Prayers go out to her family. Yeah, very tough. 30, jail. Yikes. It's tough to hear that. Who's going to be the last guy in Money in the Bank? So yeah, I did that. Said a riddle. Not really feeling it. I did hear about Dana Brooke. I'm glad she's okay. Michael, can you see it coming for the Rumble that Elias and Ezekiel both in it at the same time as Owens? Hello, Mick Foley. That would be interesting. I can certainly see that actually. No, I think the Usos are going to beat the Street Profits. Although I think the Street Profits are starting to become that team that kind of are like fillers. Their character is strong enough to be impactful and to have that presence, right? Have that presence of having a credible enough team to to make a team look good. But at the end of the day, though, it's the Street Profits. Although I think that they're being grossly underused, I do think that they're just being spot fillers. They're being used as spot fillers, unfortunately. Cameron Grimes turned heel tonight with his promo. It was so good. He was telling Braun he's only in his position because he couldn't make it in the NFL. That he had to call his dad to get him in the WWE and some other stuff about Braun and his dad didn't have his heart like he does. I like the side of camera rather than him joking all the time. Matches were good tonight on NXT. I remember Cameron Grimes. Thank you for your NXT weekly analysis because again, I don't watch NXT anymore. But I did follow Cameron Grimes when he was Trevor Lee. And he was just okay to me. He was just kind of a bit of a bland character. He was even managed by, Shane Helms and TNA. It was okay. It was okay. Like they made him X Division champion. He's always been solid in the ring, but serious Cameron Grimes, yeah. They're just going back to the well again. Interestingly enough, though, they are making him a heel and ascending to the main event level. It seems like they're running out of main event talent to go against Braun Breaker. So, I don't know. I just thank you, but I can't get into it, man. I can't get into it. I can't get into it. I can't get into it. I can't get into it, y'all. Elvis says, I love your dedication to this podcast after a full day of work. I started watching around 2018. Ooh, man. 4 years in the PNP fam. Very nice. Very, very nice. Good stuff. Thank you, Elvis, for being so dedicated. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, full day of work. Absolutely full day of work. I come in here pretty tired, but by the time PNP ends, I'm like, man, like I feel so accomplished after PNP because I've working from 9 a.m. I mean, I have 3 kids, and so getting up at around 7, going to sleep. I'm a night owl, so I go to sleep typically between 12 and 2, more the 1 to 2 range. Typically, like 1. I shut everything down around 1:15 a lot of the times because I know I need some sleep. So I usually purposely shut down so around 15 and go to sleep right after. So I get 5.5 to 6 hours of sleep, or like 5:45 to 6. Yeah, a lot. I try to really aim for 6 because I'm so busy. But I mean, today I worked from 9 o'clock. I was there, in my office until after 5, like a quarter to 6. And then I picked up work here around 9 because I have to get all the I do the graphics for PNP. Then I have to do the intro stuff. If if I did a backstage, just kind of day in the life, night in the life of preparing for PNP and unscripted, you'd have a extra sense of appreciation that the stuff's not thrown together. I've used the software to do the countdown, put the music behind it, and do the graphics. I do my own graphics. I do the prep stuff, the graphics that comes with the countdown stuff, the actual countdown. I have to do that graphic too. There's a lot going on in the preparation of unscripted and PNP. Now, Sportskeeda does all the graphics for unscripted, which is great. But for PNP, yeah, I do everything. So with that being said, I'm actually starting. I think I'm going to start my podcast up again, up on Anchor. I just don't have the time to download PNP every week and put it up on Anchor as a podcast. I used to do that actually when it used to be on Blog Talk Radio, so it was a podcast form. And PNP was originally like a straight up podcast, but I enjoyed the video much more, and then I just would download the video and upload it for podcasting. But I just don't have the time. So, and I also used to do timestamps. I want to start doing that again. I'm actually thinking about doing more like sectioning off. If I had more time, I got so much stuff. If I had more time, I would do section off. There's so much stuff. There's so much good stuff that we talk about in PNP every week that I just want to make it bite size and have a bunch of different videos up on YouTube. But I just don't have the time. And I know about stuff all the time. I have friends in WWE and AEW and TNA. I have people that I know in the business that I'm just a text away, and I know scoop stuff. I get scoops all the time, but I literally just don't have the time to really commit to all of that. I used to when I used to, be a journalist and write all the time, every day. But as a doctor, nah, ain't got the time. Brian, I like how you interact with us, and it's not just another talk show. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. I enjoy this. I really do. I've done podcasting for over 10 years now, and I used to have a big formatted show when it comes to PNP. And I started really early to do more interaction because, I look at a lot of, I love to learn, and I study a lot when it comes to podcasting and things like that. And the common theme, it's just like, hey, why it's buy-in. And my undergrad is in PR. So I'm very familiar when it comes to marketing and PR and things like that. It's just, what's your buy-in? I mean, if I'm just talking for an hour and about wrestling news and y'all just listening to me, I mean, there's no interaction there. It's just one big monologue. But y'all ask ask doc questions. It's more of a dialogue. So, yeah, I enjoy it. This is my favorite style of podcasting because, first of all, y'all make my job much easier. And then, because typically most of y'all are bringing up some, buzzing topics of what's going on in WWE or AEW. And so there you go. Keep your inside knowledge of the business of wrestling. Been a listener for almost 2 years. Thank you, Keith. Thank you for being a part of the PNP Nation. Thank you so much. Thank you for your dedication for 2 years, man. Very appreciated. I love you here because I gain more knowledge of wrestling from you. Plus, you relax. You have fun with us, no matter how goofy, weird our questions are. Happy early birthday. Thank you, Dion. Appreciate you as always, very, very much. Thank you so much for fantastic compliments there. Yes, I am a very relaxed person, and I have fun though because I freestyle. And I was voted class clown in my high school. I used to be super just like crazy goofy, and now I'm like super chill, dry humor goofy. I still have the class clown in me, but I'm old now. So so it's from a different angle. Yeah. It's from a different angle. Yeah. Thank you for the early birthday. Yeah. Lexi, I love PMP because of the unabashed commentary and family style talks. Yes. Good way to put it, family style talks. You never made it feel like made us feel like an outcast, and now that my NDA has cleared, I can join and ask the questions again. You had an NDA, Lexi? Interesting. Interesting. I'm so curious. I'm so curious, Lexi. Thank you so much. Lexi's been a faithful for a long time. And you ask amazing questions every single week. I'm so intrigued. I'm so curious about this NDA. Tell me more. Message me on Twitter and let me know. Brian, are you new, Brian? We give our newbie some love. We get our newbie some love. Let us know if you're a newbie. Thoughts on Sting and AEW? Oh, so Sting is my all-time favorite wrestler, Brian. And as long as Sting keeps winning, I'm fine with that. He's 63 years old, though, so doesn't have too long to go as far as he's going to keel over and die. But no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying as far as just, wrestling years or wrestling time. So Tony Khan, Tony Khan is a very odd soul. He's a very odd soul. I said this one of my shows. I was like, man, I would just love to just talk and do a psych assessment on Tony Khan. Like, I would love to do that because the guy is just an odd soul, man. I mean, just with his cherish hugs, his Disney hugs, like like Tony Khan was hugging Cesaro or Claudio and Kazuchika Okada as if like they're big old plush, like life size fair, like the county fair plush dolls. Like that's how Tony Khan was hugging Claudio Castagnoli and Kazuchika Okada. Like it's like he just won, like his parents just won like some kind of ring toss or that basketball game, that you don't ever, the basketball realm is shorter than the basketball. And so like it's like a 1 in 10,000 chance that you actually do make it. And then he makes it. And then, Shad, his dad, or somebody else makes it for him. And they give him a chance to get one of those plush dolls, those life-size plush dolls. And so Tony Khan basically looks at someone like a Claudio Castagnoli and says, yes. Oh, thank you so much, Dad. And so that's when the TK hugs come in. And then he looks at Kazuchika Okada. Man, I get a life-size Okada doll. He's one of the greatest of all time in New Japan. Yes. That's basically what I think about Khan. But as long as he keeps booking Sting to win, I'm in. With the latest barrage of accusation against VKM servicing assault on former employees, do you think this is an inside coup, or do you think it's chickens coming home to roast? I'm interested. I'm interested to see who spawned the email, like who sent the email to the board. I think that's what it really boils down to, because from what is going on, as far as what I've heard, that's out right now. The paralegal had an NDA. She told somebody who I guess end up sending this information, forwarding this information. I mean, it's been 3 years. 3 years later, and somehow the board found out that the paralegal received hush money. And so, from what it seems like, it's not like, for instance, there's not going to be any type of consequence if Vince McMahon, was found guilty of, you know, having an adulterous affair with his paralegal. I mean, that's not what they're investigating. I mean, hey, if he had an affair with his paralegal, but the hush money is sketchy. But I think the real thing is whether he used WWE's money to pay the paralegal. Now, if he did that, he would be in huge hot water. That's a misallocation of funds. And then, I imagine that wasn't reported, and then that's all kinds of, falsifications and all of that, so that would be what really he's in hot water for. But I mean, if everything clears and they just say, yeah, he did sleep with her, and then he paid her $3 million from his account to not have her tell anybody. I mean, yes, that's a huge blow on his moral reputation. But at the end of the day, it's not something that Vince McMahon can't bounce back from. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see where this is surfacing from. I don't know. I don't know who, because again, if you keep peeling the layers, the person who he paid the hush money to paid somebody. I mean, well, he paid her to, she had an NDA. So she told somebody had to know, or like somebody found out. So either she told somebody, he told somebody, or somebody was spying on some emails, which could have been true. Like somebody could have been, hacking some emails, or could have went into the paralegal's emails. Maybe she still had an account, and HR went into her account and saw something. I mean, there could be a variety of things. I don't necessarily see like someone was like is up to get Vince McMahon, and like they're just somehow these emails just surface all of a sudden. It seemed like it was something of like someone couldn't hold it in anymore, or they were just the email just surfaced up, and from HR, who found it, or maybe she told somebody who told somebody. I mean, there's different ways of how that could have happened. Good question, though. Happy birthday and happy 4th of July. Have a safe holiday. Enjoy it with your family. Thank you. Thank you very much. Lexi thoughts of Booker T's comments about wrestlers like Darby Allin. Now, Adam Cole to get bigger. What are your thoughts on Eddie Kingston's response? Kingston is going to support his boys. I mean that's what Kingston does. Kingston is a avid wrestling fan. He's a wrestling enthusiast. So he's going to support his AEW family. So that wasn't a surprise coming from Eddie Kingston. When it comes to Darby Allin and Adam Cole, I don't think that's an issue with Darby, because Darby's character is bigger. Like Rey Mysterio's character for a long time was bigger. So, right. So if your character is infectious, if it grows, I mean, if it's large, like any type of physical, deficiencies, they are out the window. I mean, Dusty Rhodes was not in shape his entire wrestling career, but Dusty Rhodes is my second favorite all-time wrestler. And I never really cared about Dusty Rhodes' shape. I never cared about that. I cared the fact that he had Blue Eye Soul promos, baby. And me as a black man could relate back in the 80s and 90s, baby, to some Texas boy with some Blue Eye Soul, baby. Like, I mean, like that connected with me. And man, I didn't give a hoot about his shape. I didn't care about that. Darby Allin his character is strong. He has a strong enough character. It needs to get stronger. It needs to be better. But Darby Allin is like his gimmick, his size actually plays to his gimmick, although he needs to scale it down a lot. But he does death defying things. He's a skateboarder. Skateboarders always, crash and burn. So he falls into that crash and burn skateboarder gimmick, So I don't really. Darby Allin is a small guy, and so if he tried to look normal, he would be an enhancement talent. But because he has the pain, because of the type of gear that he wears, that helps him a lot. Adam Cole, to me, people love Adam Cole. To this day, man, he doesn't do anything for me. I'm just not sold on Adam Cole. And cool entrance, always have cool theme music. Not bad in the ring at all. Character wise, what are you? Like what's your gimmick? What's your character? If someone from the PNP Nation, before we close up, someone from the PNP Nation, you tell me, what is Adam Cole's character? I just described Darby Allin's character. He's a crash and burn skateboarder who's trying to have people trying to express a dark past that he's getting some therapy and catharsis by pro wrestling, and he's a baby face because other people can relate of having a very tumultuous either past or moment in your life and being able to push through that and overcome it. I mean, that's Darby Allin, right? Adam Cole, I have no clue what Adam Cole is character-wise. Now, he's cocky, he's arrogant, he's like the cool kid in school, but he's a heel, though. He has the whole Adam Cole baby, he has the boom, he does all that, but he's a heel. So, I mean, like, what is Adam Cole? What's his character? I don't know. Have a good birthday and happy 4th of July. Thank you. What's the next PLE trivia session? I'm glad you said that. I was actually thinking about doing some Money in the Bank stuff. I think I got you for SummerSlam. And no, it's not awfully quiet without him. But I do appreciate Ricky coming. He's a faithful. Appreciate it very, very much. Why is Sting still wrestling in season 3? He should be more of a manager backstage. I mean, he's still more of a player coach. He's more of a player coach. He doesn't wrestle all the time, but he's more of a player coach. And I like the fact that he doesn't wrestle all the time. So when he does wrestle, it means something. I appreciate that. Great show. What do you think about Avalanche winning? So I heard that was their first time winning since 2001 or something like that, right? So yeah, Stanley Cup Finals. Getting outro music. Cue outro music. So yeah. 6-month NDA that had 3-month extension because of a client. That family has strong ties on the mainland. That's too generic for me, Lexi. You need to message me on Twitter. I am so intrigued of where this DNA came from, NDA came from. I'm super intrigued about that. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. It's time to go. Yeah, it's time to go. That's hilarious. It's time to go. Chris doesn't know what Adam Cole's gimmick is. Neither do I. Keep says Adam Cole is the high school jock that all the non-cool kids wanted to hang around. But he doesn't look like a jock. P&P, Lexi, try again or I'll message you. Try again, I don't know why you can't message me. Thank you, Dion, for wishing me a good birthday. I saw that Evan shot Danny. I saw that. B&P, I'll see you later. Happy birthday to me. See you later. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, Dr. C. Happy birthday to me.